Welcome to the Sleep Dives channel. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're looking at pages 658 to 691, which isn't a chapter, but the index of a book. It sounds strange, I know, but we're going to treat it like a blueprint, a schematic that lets us decode the entire philosophy of the work it comes from.
So really, what secrets can possibly be hiding in a book's index? We usually just glance at it to find a page number, right? But what if it's more than that? What if it's actually a map, laying out all the most important ideas and, crucially, showing how they all connect? That's what we're going to find out.
Okay, so first things first. To decode this blueprint, we need to find the main structural pillars. And the easiest way to do that? Just look at which words take up the most space. It's pretty simple, really. The more sub-entries a term has, the more central it must be to the whole thing.
And right off the bat, a massive pillar just jumps out at us: learning. But look closer at how the index describes it. This isn't about sitting alone with a book. The sub-entries, team learning, collective learning, generative learning, they tell a story. They show us that this philosophy sees learning as something you do together, an active process that actually creates something brand new. Now for the next major pillar, and you could argue this is the cornerstone that holds the entire structure up: systems thinking. The index gives this a huge amount of space, and all its sub-entries, causal loops, archetypes, feedback, it's like it's a unique language in itself. This is the intellectual glue that binds everything else together.
And you can see here, it's not just those two. The index gives significant weight to personal mastery, which is all about individual growth, shared vision, the art of dreaming together as a group, and team learning. It's pretty clear that these concepts, along with systems thinking and another one called mental models, are the 5 core disciplines of this whole idea.
But here's where it gets really cool. These pillars aren't just standing there on their own. The real magic of using the index as a blueprint is that it doesn't just show you the parts, it shows you exactly how they're all wired together to create one big functioning system. And the index makes these links totally explicit. You look under the entry for a personal mastery, and you'll find a sub-entry that just says, "and shared vision." That's not a coincidence. The blueprint is telling us that you can't build a powerful shared vision from the top down. It has to grow from the soil of individual dreams and personal mastery.
And here's another one of those critical connections the index just hands to us. Team learning is directly linked to systems thinking. Now, the implication of that is huge. It means a team can't really learn, not in a meaningful way, unless it understands the bigger system it's a part of. You can't just stay in your lane and expect to grow.
So, if we pull our focus back a bit, away from just the main pillars, and kind of scan the whole index, another theme starts to emerge, something deeper. Woven through this entire blueprint is this constant, undeniable focus on, well, on being human. This isn't some cold, mechanical framework. It has a real human core.
I mean, just look at the words that get their own entries: listening, trust, values, honesty, respect, even intimacy. The fact that these are here tells us everything. It tells us this system is designed for people. It recognizes that for any of the big ideas to work, they have to be built on a foundation of genuine human connection. And check this one out. It's almost poetic. Under the entry for loyalty, there's a sub-entry that reads, "conflict with honesty." Just think about that for a second. That one little line shows that this isn't some simplistic model. It gets into the messy, real-world ethical dilemmas we all face, where our deepest values can sometimes pull in opposite directions.
Okay, so we've found the pillars, we've traced the wires connecting them, and we've uncovered this beautiful human core. But what do we do with it? How do we take this blueprint off the page and actually start building with it? Let's talk about application.
All right, so based on this blueprint, here are 3 things you can start doing. First, practice seeing the systems. Instead of just reacting to things that happen, ask yourself, what's the underlying structure that's causing this? Second, get really clear on your personal vision. Knowing what you want to create is where all your motivation comes from. And third, practice inquiry and reflection. Just get better at asking questions and truly listening, both to others and to yourself.
The blueprint also warns us about a really common trap. So many of us get completely fixated on our problems. But the thing is, problem solving often just gets you back to where you started. What really creates change is a powerful, compelling vision of the future you want. Vision doesn't just fix things, it pulls you forward into something new.
So, let's just recap what we've done here. We took something most people ignore, a book's index, and we treated it like an architect's schematic, And by doing that, we basically reverse engineered an entire philosophy for growth and collaboration. It's a pretty powerful technique.
So, to sum it all up, we found those 5 foundational pillars: systems thinking, personal mastery, and the rest. Then we mapped out how they're all connected to each other, forming this single, integrated system. And finally, we discovered that holding it all up is this deep, human-centered foundation of values.
You know, a blueprint is only really useful if you build something with it. So as you look at this whole structure we've decoded, the individual skills, the systemic connections, the human values, it really just leaves us with one final question for you. Which part of this blueprint will you start building with?